Hi there, it's Sarah from Inspire Tarot. Welcome to the channel. Let's see what message Spirit has for us today. The Empress and Death. So, in order to become the Empress, we have to go through death over and over. So the Empress doesn't become the Empress by... She's not kind of born that way. She has to become the Empress over time. She has to master love. She has to master all the different lessons in all the suits. And we just go through this process and become tougher and tougher, but more aligned with the spirit, more aligned with our higher self, which is a beautiful thing. And these death experiences can be tough, but they strengthen us over time. And the Empress is amazing. I think we all want to become the Empress if we're female, because she is the embodiment of the healed mind, and uses her physical vessel to communicate love and spread God's message on earth. So yeah, she's very abundant. She seems to live in a very effortless way, but that's because she's done her inner work. She's aligned with the spirit and everything naturally comes to her. She's just very trusting and lives in the flow of life. And because of this, she's able to contribute. She's not distracted. She's not procrastinating. She's able to contribute to life and to other people in a really positive way. So yeah, we're all kind of aiming for this, and we're moving towards it. But again, we do have to go through this process of death over and over. But every time we die and be born again, then that's a good thing, because we're born into a more pure version of ourselves. The Hanged Muse, Justice, and the Ace of Inspiration. Might as well get one more out. Oh. Ten of Inspiration. So the Hanged Muse is all about seeing things from a different perspective. Which again is something that we have to do over and over again. We kind of have to pause and shift our perspective. So we're always shifting back to the right mind. And in A Course in Miracles, it talks about that we kind of understand the world upside down and back to front. And we can see here in this card the all-seeing eye, which is Christ vision. And then this person hanging upside down and seeing things from a completely different perspective. Obviously, we don't have to hang on a washing line upside down. This is just a metaphorical way of thinking, that we turn our mind right side up, as in we turn it back to unity from duality. And the Justice card is nature's way of teaching us to do this. So every time we do something, if it's not loving, but we think it's loving, then we'll be shown a lesson, we'll be given a lesson, we'll have an experience that we don't like, that feels uncomfortable. And then we've got to flip it back on ourselves and see that we're doing these things to ourselves. So I think justice, the way the natural laws of the universe work, are really just super helpful. When we understand what's happening. If we don't understand what's happening, we can feel like a pawn in a sick game, like a puppet on a string. But then we have to remember that we always have the Holy Spirit in our minds to remind us. And yeah. And because God created didn't create the universe, but created the laws that govern the universe, that govern everything, the law of love, then justice is always served, but it's served in a different way than we understand. But this kind of justice is in service to the whole and in favour of everybody. So everybody's getting the lessons they learn, even if they're not necessarily getting what they want in form. but quite often what they want in form isn't really what they want. Because what we all want is, we want the feeling of happiness, but the Spirit knows that when we want things in form, they just create temporary happiness. And we know that Jesus says in A Course in Miracles that whenever we search for pleasure, we always find pain. Yeah, and that's just kind of the way the ego set the universe up, that we're constantly chasing pleasure and finding pain and pleasure and pain. And it keeps us distracted and stuck, whereas the Spirit wants us to listen to him and just have everything reinterpreted in a way that's helpful and loving. But yeah, it does involve us being tested from our human perspective, and it can feel very uncomfortable at times. But I always find that when something uncomfortable happens, as soon as I've got the reinterpretation from the Spirit, then you feel happy again, because you understand that everything has a purpose and it's helpful and that it's helping you level up. So it's exciting. But at times with the 10 of Inspiration, this is the 10 of Wands card, where we're feeling very overburdened and overcommitted, maybe over-responsible, and we need to learn to prioritise. And I think this is a lesson that we all learn. It's certainly something that I'm going through at the moment, where we have to prioritise the way we feel. We really do have to understand that the way we feel is our barometer. And whenever we don't feel good, we need to be looking into why. Is it a misperception, or is it something that we've outgrown? And we need to act accordingly. So yeah, but also this card is just reminding us that we're kind of on the final stretch with whatever cycle we're on, and yeah, maybe we need to delegate or just leave things behind if they're not working for us anymore. Whoa. 6 of Materials and the Priestess. The 6 of Materials is a card about balanced giving and receiving, about reminding us that abundance is natural, and that we very much enjoy being generous, but we have to be generous from kind of from the mind level, at the mind level, as in we need to see other people as their higher self. So yeah, we're seeing them through the eyes of forgiveness. And we're understanding that that's the most loving thing we can do. If we see someone's higher self, or be so focused on that it draws that out of them, then we're lifting people up. And that's just really important to do that. Obviously, we benefit from it too, because they get to be happier, we get to be happier, and we get to kind of dance together on a higher timeline, as it were. So yeah, and the Priestess kind of understands this. The High Priestess understands the rules of the universe. She understands the hidden teachings. And the Priestess's job is to kind of be like a light worker on earth, and to bring out the goodness in everyone and everything. We can see here on this card that she has her third eye is kind of glowing. Seven of Inspiration is the 7 of Wands. So we can see here on this card that this lady is kind of pushing her limits. And it can feel like this very much on planet Earth. Whenever we're trying to go through some sort of shift, it feels as though we're having to push things away. It's just, this kind of card just shows us the resistance and the vulnerability that's required, but the strength that we have. And even though in the card it's portrayed as being a physical strength, with the star over her head, it's very much a mental strength that seems to get acted out by the body. But yeah, we very much have to have the courage of our convictions and stay strong and stay in our power. And quite often we have, when we're going through a period of growth, we might experience ego backlash, which is when we make a step forward and then the ego will kind of viciously attack us and try and pull us down, because it doesn't want us to grow and evolve. And this is a test where we've got to not buy into its stories, because it's cruel, and it knows our weak points. So yeah, we do require a lot of mental tenacity. to, yeah, just stay courageous and know that we can overcome any obstacle. We just have to be true to ourselves and stay in our right mind, and that we've always got the spirit to ask for help whenever we feel out of our depth. The Magician. So yeah, these cards kind of tie in together, because the Priestess, she looks kind of magical, and we're having to take our understanding of how the universe is configured and how it works and master it. And this is particularly what the Magician does. It's all about mastering, because we understand that in the material world that was created at the Big Bang, that everything is available to us. Like any potential in the world, anything that could be, anything that ever will be, is already created. And as we think and feel, or vibrate, as sometimes people call it, then we are the alchemist. And the Magician is showing us this. You know, we can see in the card that the different coloured balls, I presume, are representative of the suits. Fire, air, earth and water, which is the swords, the wands, the cups and the pentacles. And then she's the vessel that creates, using the mind to create magic in the world. And we can create whatever magic we want, but as long as we do things with love and things that we enjoy, then we're kind of doing our part, we're playing our part in the universe. And that's all that's really required by the Spirit, for us to, yeah, to be in a state of flow and bring our interests, but also couple them with the divine, with love, and bring that goodness into fruition. Oh. Page of Materials. The Page of Materials is very ambitious and focused. A seeker of truth. So when we combine our seeking for the truth and seeking for what's right, then yeah, we can bring magic to the universe. But it's kind of a state that we have to be in all the time, to be in that humble state of asking the Spirit and being, yeah, just being prepared to be led. And the Knight of Emotions, which is the Knight of Cups. So yeah, we're always being led by love. Love is our aim. And there's no card more in the deck that kind of talks about the commitment to and the quest for love. This knight is very passionate and idealistic. So I kind of like to think of this cup as being seen with Christ's vision, and just has this blind faith in love, and yeah, won't stop at anything less. He's just going to go for it. And he's never fazed by when things go wrong. Just stays with an open heart and always trusting and always loving, which we all kind of want and need to do all the time. And sometimes it can feel challenging, but at the end of the day, we can choose to keep our heart open, certainly as much as we can, and then yeah, we'll bring our whole selves to everything that we do. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that reading. I love you all. Bye.